Philadelphia, I think, in my memory, and that I wrote this song into a dictaphone, and I finished it in a hotel room in West Texas and recorded it for my La Di Da record. And listen up, kids. It's not what you think. Stayed out too late, had a little too much to drink, walked home across the bridge when the marquee shut down. There's a reason that I love this town. A couple of Maritimers here too. Nobody cares how much money you have. If you've got enough to get in a cab, there'll be drinks on the house if your house burns down. There's a reason that I love this town. I saw your band in the early days. We all understand why you moved away, but we'll hold a grudge, yes we will. No grudges for this individual. In fact, about 4 days ago when I was in Toronto, we had dinner together. That's where he is now, but that's all right. We meet up. Only love for this man. I sing to you. I shot the shit with Miniature Tim. If he needs a hit, I could write one for him. We like the same books and we like the same sounds. There's a reason that I love this town. But no, they can't all be a National Arts Center. If they treat you wrong, get up wherever you are and pay them back in song. Case in point. I played a show in Kelowna last year. They said, pick it up, Joe. We're dying in here. Picture one hand clapping, now picture half that sound. There's a reason why I hate that town. Woo! Yeah, if you saw my band, we were called Thrushermen, in the early days, you will understand why we moved away. Anyway, because it's fun. And that's why I've held on to my grudges for so long. Pretty much, they're fun, you know? That's what I like about, actually, small towns. I grew up down in Lunenburg, and even Halifax feels like a small town. And just, you know, like, small town gossip and stuff, you know, it can seem mean-spirited, but it's also just kind of interesting, gives people something to talk about, you know? And so grudges fade like a pair of jeans, and then and even the Kelowna grudge has faded with time, you know, because, you know, this song is controversial in my family. My wife was born in Kelowna. I have in-laws there. So needless to say, La Di Da is not their favorite record. But the thing was, there was, you know, an incident in Kelowna, and I mean, it actually came back in the days of the Harmon. We were traveling around in our half-size school bus. We had a number of vehicles. Our first vehicle was a camper van that we named Eddie. It lasted one tour to Ontario and back, and then we parked it behind the El Strado Lounge, which has since burned down. But we parked it behind the El Strado Lounge and abandoned it, and somebody started living in it. And then our second vehicle was a half-size school bus that we kitted out with a gear space and some bunks, and then we burned through that, and then we bought a motorhome off our friends in the band Sloan. Great band, great friends. Yes. Yeah. Great. Love them. Terrible vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. It was a mistake, a lemon, you know. But it had a Nintendo system. It didn't go anywhere, but it was fun to hang out in. It was a dressing room on wheels. It was nice. And then after that, we got another half-size school bus, and it was in that half-size school bus that we were on tour in '98, if I remember correctly. And you know, and so we pulled the vehicle into the parking lot of a club called Flashbacks in Kelowna. And you know, we didn't have a great feeling about the gig, but we would give it the benefit of that. We played some hard shows. How bad could it be? We played a microbrewery outside Kansas City one time that felt like an East Side Mario's. That was a hard gig. That was a dark day. And in the early days of the emergency as well, we had some tough shows coming back from Ontario. We stopped in Fredericton, where we have great shows now, but this was in the early 2000s, and we played a show. And the only people who came to see us, first of all, they were playing music through another set of speakers in the bar while we were playing our show. Yeah, there was a dance club next door. And then the only people who came to see us was my bass player, Timmy at the time. His brother Brian came, and then there was my mother who brought a friend. My mom's here tonight, actually, so she brought a friend, two friends. So anyway, how bad could Kelowna be, right? So anyway, we load in our gear and we set up and we played this show, and there's like 20, 30 people pinned at the back of the room. No one's paying attention. We're in the wrong place. The promoter comes up to me during a slow song. I remember she said, "Pick it up, we're dying in here." I'll never forget that. But anyway, we were packing up our gear, gonna get out of there, whatever, go to sleep in the school bus or something. And then anyway, this big guy came up to me. He was really enthusiastic. He said, "Hey man, were you in the band?" I was like, yeah, I was. He goes, "You fucking suck." "You prick. Oh my God, I'm going to get you back in your town back every show for the next 10 years. I'll even be swearing at the National Arts Center in front of an orchestra. I'll tell everyone." And I've stayed true to my word. So the moral of this long-winded story is you treat every vehicle like it's going to get you somewhere, and you treat every show, hopefully, like it's the last night of the tour, which brings me to my last verse, because we had played Kingston and we had to get ourselves home, and Timmy flew home, and my drummer Dave and I had to get home in the 95 Chev, and we were sick as dogs. We gave Kingston a cold that night, I'm sure, because everybody came to the show. We were sick. Anyway, we drove home and we could barely get there. We had to pull over, and at some point, just these words appeared in the chicken noodle soup, and it went like this. It went, "Davy and me, face down in our suit, in some French restaurant outside Riviera Duluth, the last night of the tour, and we rocked that joint to the ground." And then time traveling into the future, and I opened up my eyes, and everyone in Ottawa was singing it for their hometown, wherever they came from. They're all here. "There's a reason that I love this town." And then they got louder and prouder. "There's a reason that I love this town." That's what it sounded like music to my ears. "There's a reason that I love this town." One more time for good measure, ladies and gentlemen, on your own. There's a reason that I love this town. You wrote it, not me. Aaron back out here.
All right. Okie dokie. Didn't know I'd say that at the National Arts Center. I had this dream last night. I got up on stage, and the first thing I said was, "Okie dokie." I showed up in my dream today. But I had no pants on in my dream. It was scary. Okay, this next song is one of my favorite songs to sing, and I'm really excited about the arrangement we have. And it's worth noting that all the arrangements of the tunes tonight were done by a guy who's not here tonight, David Christensen from Halifax, good friend of mine. We went to high school together, in fact. And David's in India right now, so... anyway, this is a song, and we go back a long way, me and David, as well as, this is a song for old friends. It's called Old Friends. Old friends in a deep groove, still got something left to prove. With no plans and no kids, so much water under the bridge. Old friend in a new town, we don't need a reason to go get down. All I wanna do is reminisce for an hour, blow a kiss, and devour all the love in the world could be ours. Sour grapes, they turn to fine wine. They just need a few years on a winding vine. With my eyes shut and my mouth closed, I listen for the train and the whistle blow. Like a schoolgirl at the end, out of sight, for old friends, I will leave on a light. Old friends, on a new guitar, and there's so much whiskey at the bar. Disappear down the hall.